Hey guys, this is Mary. I'm so glad you could stop by Cardz TV today. We're going to make a quick card using the Art Philosophy cartridge and the Give a Hoot cartridge. And the papers that I used came from this Recollections Bowl Basic paper pad. And I got this about a year ago, and it's got tons of paper in it. And I just picked out a couple of the green ones because I thought they were pretty, and this card can do double duty. You can use it as a St. Patrick's Day card, or it can be a friendship card, whichever you'd like. So I'll get these out of the way and we'll get started. We'll start with the card front. I've got a green mat, and this is Basil cardstock, and it's got some texture to it. This was cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Then this is a paper from that Recollections paper pad, and this was cut at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to take my ATG gun and get these two adhered together. I wanted to add a large border to the front of my card, so I went to the Art Philosophy cartridge on page 29, and here's this border right here. Now you can't cut a shadow with this. There's no shadow feature, so I cut the banner out of this paper. This is from that Recollection stack, and this is on paper. And when you cut paper in your Cricut, you need to turn your speed down and your pressure down, and then you can get a nice cut. So I cut this at 4 3/4, and then I came up here to layer, and I cut this frame out of the dark green, the same as this mat, and I cut this at 5 inches. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my two-way glue pen and add some glue to the frame, and I'm going to glue these two together, and that gives me a nice shadow. And then I'm going to add this to the front of my card, just like this. I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the top and a little bit at the bottom. I think I'll put the two-way glue on this piece right here. Now I've got my frame adhered to the banner, and I'm going to attach this to the front using my ATG gun. My banner's attached, and I want to add a couple of strands of baker's twine around the front of the card before I attach this to the card base. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back to hold the ends of my baker's twine. Let's see, I want to get started right about there. I think 2 strands should be enough, because then I'm going to tie a little bow. Now I've got my tape wrapped around, and I've added some Scotch tape to it just to hold it securely, and I've dropped one side down a little bit lower than the other, and I'm going to tie a bow right here. But first we want to get this attached to the card base, and this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch white card base, and we'll go ahead and get this attached to the front. Now I'll take this other piece of the baker's twine and slide it under the 2 strands and go ahead and tie this in a bow. I secured my bow with a little mini glue dot right under there so it won't be moving around, and I've also added a dark green square, which is the same as this green mat, and a white square. Now the green mat or green square is 1 5/8 inches by 1 5/8 inches. The white square is 1 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inches. And I've embossed the white square with this Cuttlebug embossing folder because it matches this paper so well. And I'm sorry I don't know the name of this one, guys, but it kind of reminds me of a wedding ring quilt. But I thought it was really pretty on here. And on top of this, we're going to add a clover, a 4-leaf clover. And I found one in the Give a Hoot cartridge on page 45. There it is right there. I cut the base and the top at 1.5 inches. I also cut just the base at 1 inch, and this is going to go on the inside. and here it is. And I took a clear rhinestone and colored it with a green Copic marker and put in the center. And I've got this on 1 thickness of foam tape, and I'm going to add that right there. And then for the sentiment, I cut a little white banner and notched both ends. This is also on 1 thickness of foam tape, and I'm going to add that right down here. And the sentiment came from the Cardz TV Fun and Games stamp set, I'm So Lucky. This is a cute set, and I have used it a lot, as you can tell, especially that bingo card. So I'm going to get this adhered to the front, and then we'll work on the inside. Now we're going to do the inside, and I've gone ahead and layered all the mats together. I have a green mat, which is just like the one on the card front. This is 3.5 by 4.5. The pattern mat is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Then I have another green mat, and it's 3 by 4. And then the white sentiment mat is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. And I used Memento Tuxedo Black ink and the Cardz TV Count Your Blessings set. And where is that one? Your Friendship is Such a Blessing. And you can see how you can use this as a friendship card or thinking of you card. If you don't want to use it for that and you want it to be a card for St. Patrick's Day, you could stamp Happy St. Patrick's Day right there. And here's that 1-inch clover, 4-leaf clover that I cut out. I'm going to adhere that right there with my 2-way glue pen. And then I've got another rhinestone that I colored green, and I'm going to pop that right in the center. So I'll get this adhered down, and we'll come back and take a look at this finished card. Here's our card all finished, and you can use this as a friendship card or a St. Patrick's Day card. And we've got the front done, I'm So Lucky, and here's the inside. Your Friendship is Such a Blessing. And I've got that little rhinestone right in there. I'll have all the dimensions and the supplies that I used at the end of the video if you'd like to recreate this card. It was a fun card to make, and it went together pretty quickly. I want to give you guys a quick heads up. There is a St. Patrick's Day card challenge going on over at my blog, cardztv.blogspot.com. So I hope you'll come on over and see what the fabulous Cardz TV design team has done for this challenge to give you lots of inspiration. And then take the challenge with us, and I'll use random.org to pick a winner, and the winner will get a set of Cardz TV stamps. So come on over and join us, guys. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Always leaving such nice comments. Y'all are so kind. And thank you so much for subscribing. And I'll see you again soon with another card. Bye now.